everybody. My name is Hal. This is Quail Studios Guitar and Keys. Welcome, and thank you very much for the good wishes over at lessonswithhal@gmail.com. That's my email, and I got a couple of messages this morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate you writing to me. I just read those just before we went live. And good luck to you all. And if you're not able to make it right now and you're tuning in later, that's great. If you're here, why don't you write in the chat and say, hey, I am in Ireland, or I am in the UK somewhere, or I am in Ohio, or Arizona, or wherever you are across the world. Just put it in the chat, please. And I'm going to sing for you a song that I wrote back in 1975. It's called The Frog Song. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it in context of... I put the frog song. I guess I didn't put anything else in there. Oh, well. We're going to talk about it in context of chords, how it works, how you can use these chord progressions to further your ability and your skill in learning how to play the guitar, also strumming. We're also going to talk about hammer-ons, and I'm going to show you right at the end a chord progression that is pretty awesome that you can use with your friends and have a little competition. All right, so here we go. This is the frog song. Be kind and tender to the frog, and do not call him names such as slimy skin, pollywoggle like was Uncle James, gape a grin, toad gone wrong, Billy bandy knees. The frog is justly sensitive to epithets like these. Well, no animal can more repay a treatment kind and fair, except so lonely people say who keep a frog, and by the way, they are extremely rare. Be kind and tender to the frog, and do not call him names such as slimy skin, pollywoggle like was Uncle James, gape a grin, toad gone wrong, Billy bandy knees. The frog is justly sensitive to epithets like these. Well, no animal can more repay a treatment kind and fair, except a frog, and by the way, they are extremely rare. Well, no animal can more repay treatment kind and fair, except a frog, and by the way, they are extremely rare. There you have it. There's the frog song. All right, so let's talk about this and let's look at the chords. I'm going to put the chords right here on the screen for you. The first one I'm playing is a C chord. Be kind and tender. Where did I come up with these words? I'm going to tell you something about this. I used to have a book when I was a child. It was called The Big Golden Book of Poetry. I have it out in my shop, in my studio outside, and I forgot to bring it up this morning. I just ran out of time, but it's a cool little book. Maybe I'll show you the picture later that has it, but it was, I can't remember who wrote it. Emily, somebody, I don't remember. Anyway, I used to like this little poem, and a friend of mine who was working at a park in Palos Verdes, California, she said, hey, can you play for the kids? I'm going to be doing a presentation on Saturday. You know, is it possible for you to come and play your guitar? I said, sure. So I wrote this frog song for the kids and used those words almost exactly the way they are in the book. There's a couple little things that I changed, but poems are great to set to music. So I just did this very, very simple chord progression. C, going to F. C is the 1 chord, F is the 4 chord. And then it goes to G. Actually, I went C, F, C, G. Now this is one of the Gs you can use. Normally I use this G right here. I mute that A string like that so that the B note, that low B note, is not being played because we have 2 B notes. We don't need 2 B notes. But I'll show you how I use this one with a hammer on in just a second. So then we have A minor. Love that chord. It's a really great chord. We have C major 7, bar chord. I use this version of it instead of this because I like to have that G note right there. Then the next chord is a G minor 7 with an F bass. I have to tell you that when I wrote this song, I did not know the name of that chord. I just thought, that's the chord I want. It had this C major 7 going to this chord, basically just a bar across on the D string, G string, B string, E string, 3rd fret. And then the next chord, I went down 2 frets and played F minor 7 with an E flat bass. That's what it's called. I just used a bar like that. And then back to C, and then G again. Okay, and that's what I did. So those are the chords to the frog song. Now, there's a coda at the end, and I'll give you those chords in just a second. Let me put those on the screen. I start with an E chord. Now, E is not in the key of C major. Not at all. It's borrowed from another key. And then we went to C, and then D sus2. Love that chord. It's a fantastic chord. Then I went to A minor, like that. And then the next was a G chord. And then, oops. Yeah. And then I used a C to a G. So those are the chords for the coda. E, C, D sus2, A minor, G, C, G. And I'll talk to you about that in just a second, what we used to do. I had a friend across the street, his name was Edward, and he lived with me in Lomita, California. And that's in Southern California. And he just happened to be right across the street and one house over. We would get together and play guitar. It was really great. And we'd have this little battle. I don't know who came up with this chord progression. I don't know if Ed and I came up with it together or where we got it from. I've never heard it before in my life. I've never heard it since. But this is the chord progression. E, C, D sus2, A minor, G, C, G. Then we put this little... So this is really kind of cool because it's got low E string, a down up strum on the other notes, they're the high notes, and then a hammer on the A string. So E, A string, we hammer onto that 2nd fret. Same thing with the C. You start with the C chord and the C note right there on the A string, and then hammer onto the next string. It can be kind of like a country sound. And then we hit this D note with the D sus2. Then I do a little rundown. The C note, 3rd fret, A string, 2nd fret, open, So I go strum, and then that little hammer-on the D string, 2nd fret, down to the A string. So it goes D sus2, run down, down, up, down, up. And then we go from that C note, actually I do a pull-off, like that. Right? So 3rd fret, 2nd fret on the A string, pull off to open, G note, and do a little strum on the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go like that. So I got this C hammer on from A, open A to that 3rd fret. 3rd fret there. So I made a little recording on my diddle looper. And it goes like this. So it's playing along. So Ed and I would play together, and he would play the same thing, and I would play the same thing, and we would just start playing. I don't think we played the frog song, because this was before the frog song. I put this ending on the frog song after I wrote the frog song, but this was before. So we'd be playing along. Then we start to speed up. And start to speed up. Sometimes I do this with my son. And we would keep going and going and going until one of us flubbed it and just dropped out or something and couldn't go anymore. It was pretty fun because we were able to really develop our chord ability. Right there, you got your E chord. You lift everything and go to your C. Lift everything. Well, not everything. I guess that finger stays right there. You know, you can stay right there, but basically that's the same position. G, and then you lift everything and go to your C. See that? So you got your G, C, G. Now some people play their G, right? Like that, with these two fingers, with the 3rd and 4th finger. I really don't like that. I mean, I do. Right? There are songs that... Oops. The Dance by Garth Brooks, you know? It actually isn't by Garth Brooks, but he recorded. And I do play the G with my 3rd and 4th finger when I play that because it goes to that chord, which is the C with a G bass, which I've actually done a video on that. You can search that. I guess I could put a card up and you could see it. I'll have to go back and do that later. But normally I play my G like this. And a lot of times I leave my finger off of that the A string, which is a B note. So that's what I do. So I see some people are here. Why don't you write where you're from? Say hello. Say hello to each other. Bob sent me an email today, and he said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I only got 2 hours of sleep last night. have to sleep some more before, and I'll catch you later on the replay. As soon as you see this in your feed, you can click on it and you'll see it. Anyway, so I know Bob may not be here. It doesn't look like he is because he usually says hi. And other people are here probably. It says I have viewers. So what you do there is that when you're playing this, give me a thumbs up, by the way, if you like what I'm doing. Thank you very much. Back when I was learning how to play, I listened to Cat Stevens. There was a song called Tuesday is Dead. Something like that, right? I think that was it. I haven't played that for a long time. I was looking for the music over on my shelf, but I don't see it there. It must be somewhere else. I can't take a dun 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 da da dun da dun da dun. Anyway, really good. Cat Stevens came up with a bunch of songs early on that had a lot of different chord changes, quick chord changes, and that really helped me to develop my ability to go back and forth between chords. If you have trouble going back and forth between a C chord and a G chord, you want to just block the chord like that. Okay? And then you want to be able to switch back and forth between chords like less than a second. And we use the same fingers every time. Now you could do it this way, or do it this way. I like this way a lot. And you can put your finger down on the A string too, if you really want to. I don't really like that low sound. That's why I eliminate that A string, because it sounds more like this, like the bar chord. See that? So that gives more of a bar chord sound. See? Very similar. This has a muddy low notes, and I don't really like that very much. Now some people play it like this. You have that muddy low note sound with these two notes up here, the D and the G note on the 3rd fret, B string and E string. Now I like to do a G5, which is eliminate the A string there, so you don't have a B note. I think I'm off topic. Let's go back to the frog song for a second. If you want to make this more country, you could go, be kind and... Oh, sorry, let's see, what key am I in? Be kind and... It actually starts out in the key of G. Excuse me, key of C. Be kind and tender to the frog, and do not call him names such as slimy skin, pollywoggle like was Uncle James. Sometimes what I'll do is at the end of the frog song, I'll do that. I'll do a pull off from 2nd fret open on the A string to E like that. Very subtle. Now doing a chord progression like this is really, really good, because what happens is that you get really good skill with the hammer-ons. You want that to be really on your G chord. You can hammer on to the A string 2nd fret. You can hammer on to the D string. Like this. Oops. let go of that. Did you see that? I let go of my second finger to make sure that all of those notes are really clear. If I hold my second finger on the 3rd fret, E string, I can accidentally touch that A string with this finger, and I don't want that. So I have to lift it up. Now, working with those hammer-ons is really a good skill. Working with those chords, right, is a really good skill. Any of those chords are really good. E to A minor, G to C, C to D, D to G. You'll notice I play my D like this a lot with my pinky, because I can just slide this finger up like that. Like that. And, oh, let me talk about this for just a second. I don't see any, there's no chat there. Nobody's saying anything. Okay, that's fine. And there's no questions, so I don't have to answer any questions. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. No, it's right there. I can see it. I will answer them for you. So what happens with this hand position right here, we're going to talk about hand position. That's the last thing we're going to talk about before I go. This whole song, right, the secret to playing your C chord and your F chord is to have this hand position right here. It's my hand position is like this. I'm touching right about there. Right there. Right? You don't need to go like this. Now, if you're a classical guitar player and you put the guitar between your legs, yeah, then you have a different hand position. But if you're a folk guitar player, or the way I'm doing it here, if this is the way you're holding your guitar, then what you need to do is to put, and actually, here, let me face the camera. You'll notice that my guitar is not across my body like this. It's not at a 90-degree angle. It's out. So I'm holding it right there, touching it. The guitar is out this way, pointing that direction, not straight. F, really important. I have my hand like that, right up against that fretboard. Not dropped like this, but right up against it. And this thumb right here helps to mute that low E string. So all of these chords, C, F, G, I'm still touching right there. And when I play the D chord, my hand just slips back up the neck a little bit. I guess you could say it's up. It could be down, because when we play strings going that way, it's lower. See that little slide? Slide over. Like that. Well, let's see if I can show you from this direction. Here you go. E chord. Same thing. Got my hand in that position. Right? My thumb's at the top. I'm not going over the top like this because I want that string to play. Now when I play my A minor chord, my thumb goes over and it touches slightly, so I mute that string. Sometimes I'll even do this. I'll even put my thumb over like this. Now I'm not pushing. I'm just touching, so I mute those strings. And my lowest note is that D string right there. Okay, so there's some tips about how to do that. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome if you've just come. We did the frog song at the beginning. You'll have to look at the beginning again and listen to the frog song. Do the replay. Thanks for being here. My name is Hal, Quail Studios Guitar and Keys. We didn't do any keys today, did we? We'll do keys later. Maybe I'll do one. Now next week, I'll let you know what's going on here, because next week, if anybody is in the Kinston, North Carolina area, I'm going to be in Kinston next week, this week coming up. right, in just a few days. Raleigh, Kinston. I don't remember what between Raleigh and Kinston. I'm going to be flying into Raleigh and then going down the road towards Kinston. So if anybody is there, give me a call. Well, email me, lessonswithhal@gmail.com. Let me know if you're in the area. We can get together and say hi. That'd be really cool if you're available. Love it. So if anybody wants to come and visit me for a minute, that'd be excellent. We'll see what we can do. All right. Thanks for being here. I will try to do, next Saturday, I will try to do a quick live stream from Kinston at my daughter's house. We'll see how that works out. If not, then I will see you and we'll talk later. I'll see if I can do it, even just really quick, and we'll connect and you can give me questions and stuff. All right. Thanks for being here. Hello. Oh, Dean. Hello, Dean. He says, hi, Hal. Looks like you've come a little late, Dean. Yeah, just came up. Thanks for being here. I'm going to connect with my supporters. Dean, come on over. And if you want to know how to support me, look in the description of this video. You can sign up at Patreon, Subscribestar, shoot me an email, lessonswithhal@gmail.com. If you want to know more about how to do that, I'm going to be at something called Rock Out Loud with my subscribers. It's a service that I use for lessons and things like that. Sound is really good. And we have multiple people showing up, sometimes from the Netherlands and over in Europe, all across the United States, that kind of thing. All right, thank you very much for being here. We'll talk to you later, okay? Here, we'll put that ending right there so you can hear it. See you later.